Hello everyone, and welcome to the Background Check Requirement Phase 2 webinar. My name is Jeremy Maggio, Manager of the Background Check Program at Childcare of America, and I will be your moderator for today. Prior to us getting started, we have a few administrative items that we need to review. First, I would like to do a sound and visual check to ensure that everyone can hear me and see the screen. If you can hear me and see the screen, please type in the chat box now. Great, thank you. This webinar is being recorded and will be posted on the Background Check website at usa.childcareaware.org. You would then click on the Military Programs tab, followed by Resources, and finally on the Background Check Requirement tab. Please note that at any time during the presentation, you may type your questions into the chat box. We will have a question and answer period at the end of the presentation, but feel free to submit your questions at any time. During today's webinar, I will discuss the new fee assistance requirement as it relates to background checks, the provider notifications that have been sent, specific requirements for your state, resources that we have developed that will be available on our website, the grant process, and then there will be time after the presentation for some questions. The purpose of today's webinar is to help gain a better understanding of the background check requirements for child care providers and to provide resources to assist in fulfilling the background check requirement for providers located in Arkansas, New York, Texas, and Ohio. I will be the presenter of today's webinar, and again, my name is Jeremy Maggio. I'm the Background Check Program Manager at Childcare of America. Background Check Requirement Notifications. Initial notification was sent to all providers serving Navy and Air Force children on November 24, 2014. A general webinar was hosted on April 23, 2015, and is available for reviewing on the Background Check website at the link listed below. Next, I would like to talk about new fee assistance requirements. Providers serving U.S. Navy and U.S. Air Force children will be required to have verification that an advanced FBI fingerprint check, as well as a state child abuse and neglect registry background check, has been completed. This requirement applies to all employees working in the center or facility when children are present, and all adults, provider and anyone 18 years of age and older working in the family child care home or residing in the home for 30 days or more. Please note, if these checks are already required by your state, you will not need to have them redone. This webinar has been created to assist all providers who have not yet completed these checks. Childcare of America is working closely with state licensing agencies to assist providers in completing the requirement. As such, each state will be different. Requirement by provider type. Background check requirements vary based on the type of care provided. The new requirements that background checks must be completed prior to becoming eligible for the program are only in effect once that state has been phased in. Providers currently enrolled in the program will not experience any disruptions to their fee assistance. For family child care homes, the checks must be complete prior to becoming eligible for fee assistance. Providers in a child care center must have initiated and completed their checks within 90 days to maintain an approved status. Background check requirements for Arkansas, New York, and Texas. At this time, all child care providers in Arkansas and New York and all family child care home providers in Texas are required to have completed an advanced FBI fingerprint check. Once the checks are complete, they are valid for 5 years from the date of initiation. An example would be a check obtained in 2015 is valid until 2020. If you have already completed the FBI check and it is 4+ years old, you will need to obtain an updated check to meet new fee assistance requirements. Background check requirements for Ohio. All child care providers in Ohio are required to have completed a state child abuse and neglect registry check. Once the required checks for your state are complete, they are valid for 5 years from the date of initiation. An example would be a check obtained in 2015 is valid until 2020. If you have already completed the child abuse and neglect check and it is 4+ years old, you will need to obtain an updated check to meet the new fee assistance requirements. Now I'm going to talk about a few documents that are going to be required in order to help providers remain eligible when meeting the new background check requirements. The documents that are going to be required are an updated user licensing agreement form, or ULA, and the background check staff list. Both of these documents can be accessed on our background check requirement website. The first document I'm going to speak about is the military provider ULA. The military provider ULA must be signed by all providers receiving fee assistance, regardless of whether they have to submit documentation for the new background check requirements. The ULA was sent out after the initial webinar on April 23, 2015. You should have received the updated ULA via email. If you did not receive the email for any reason, you can access the ULA on the background check website, or you can also contact us if you would like us to send you a copy. The provider ULA can be signed electronically via Adobe EchoSign. It can also be faxed, emailed, or mailed to our office. The staff list and background check verification form will be required for providers in states that have to submit background check documentation. The form acknowledges that you are aware that Childcare Aware of America needs to receive verification that the FBI fingerprint and/or child abuse and neglect registry checks were completed and that all individuals who have direct contact with children are listed on the form. If you have an existing staff list that you would like to send, you may do so, but you must complete the top portion of the Childcare Aware of America staff list and sign and date the form to ensure that the requirement has been met. Please note, if you would like to send your existing staff list, it must include name, date of birth, position, and date of hire of your employees. You can obtain the staff list by downloading it from the background check website or by e-signing it via Adobe EchoSign. Requesting an FBI check for Arkansas and New York. Providers in New York and Arkansas will need to independently complete a request to the FBI for the Identity History Summary, commonly known as an FBI fingerprint check. A detailed instructional guide is available on each state-specific webpage on the background check website. Requesting an FBI check for Texas. Family child care homes in Texas are instructed to apply for an FBI check with Texas licensing. Texas licensing has contracted a company to conduct a background check. The results of the check will be sent directly to licensing, and licensing will send the providers an email stating that the FBI fingerprint check is complete. The email from licensing will then be sent by the provider to Childcare Aware of America. Please use the following link to look up your county's licensing office to request your check. Next, I would like to go through filling out the I-783 form. The I-783 form is the FBI application. The first step in requesting a background check is filling out an I-783. On this form, please make sure to include your complete mailing address, telephone number, and your email address. You must also indicate on the application that the results are to be returned to Childcare Aware of America. Please make sure that you have already submitted an updated staff list to Childcare Aware of America before mailing your application to the FBI. Include $18 in the form of a money order or certified check with the application. Please make sure the reason for the request on the form is other. This is an example of a populated I-783 form. As you can see, you've got your complete contact information. You're indicating that the results are to be returned directly to Childcare Aware of America, and the reason for the request, as seen here, is other. Obtaining fingerprints. After completing the application form, you must obtain your set of fingerprints. A standard fingerprint form, or FV258, will be provided by the fingerprinting agency, or you may request this form from Childcare Aware of America directly. Local law enforcement agencies like the Sheriff's Office or police station often provide fingerprinting facilities. Please refer to the link below for finding fingerprinting facilities in your area. Please note, the search will only provide locations that have electronic fingerprinting facilities. If you don't see your area listed, please contact your local sheriff's office or police station. This is an example of a populated fingerprint card and a couple of points to remember when getting your fingerprints taken. You must provide the original fingerprint card. Previously processed cards or copies will not be accepted. Your name and date of birth must be provided on the fingerprint card, and as we discussed, they should be placed on an FV258 form. You must also include rolled impressions of all 10 fingerprints and impressions of all 10 fingerprints simultaneously. If possible, have your fingerprints taken by a fingerprinting technician. This service may be available at a local law enforcement agency. Submitting payment for an FBI check. The fee for the service is $18 and may be paid using one of the following options: a credit card, which will use the credit card payment form, or a money order or certified check made payable to the Treasury of the United States. Please note, the payment amount must be the exact amount. This is an example of the credit card payment form, should you wish to pay with a credit card. This is a checklist to go through prior to sending your application to the FBI. For the complete application form, you are required to sign everywhere that is required. You should indicate on the application that the results are to be returned directly to Childcare Aware of America, and the reason for the request must be other. Please remember to include your complete contact information for your mailing address, email address, and telephone number in case the FBI needs to contact you. The complete fingerprint card includes your name, date of birth, descriptive data, and all 10 rolled fingerprint impressions. Again, the form of payment can either be through a certified check, money order, or credit card. Submitting your FBI background check application. A complete application must be mailed to the following address: FBI, CJIS Division, Summary Request, 1000 Custer Hollow Road, Clarksburg, West Virginia, 26306. If you have any concerns with the completion of your federal background check request, you may contact Childcare Aware of America for guidance at 1-800-424-2246, option 7, or you may send us an email to bgc@usa.childcareaware.org. Submitting the FBI check results to Childcare Aware of America. Once results from the FBI are received, they must be forwarded to Childcare Aware of America in order to complete the background check requirement. Results may be mailed, faxed, or emailed to the following address: Childcare Aware of America, Background Check Program, 1515 North Courthouse Road, 2nd floor, Arlington, Virginia, 22201. If you're going to fax them to us, the fax number is 571-255-4911, or they may be submitted via email to bgc@usa.childcareaware.org. Requesting a child abuse and neglect registry check for Ohio. A search of the Ohio Statewide Automated Child Welfare Information System, or SACWIS, will need to be independently acquired by providers in Ohio. This will include completing a request for a search of SACWIS form. This form is available on our website by visiting the Ohio page of the background check requirement page. A guide to completing this form is below. This guide is also available on our website. Completing your SACWIS request form. As you can see, you will need to complete all fields correctly. You'll need to provide a copy of your Social Security card along with one of the following forms of identification, either a driver's license, birth certificate, or a United States visa. If you do not wish to provide us with two forms of identification, you may have this form notarized. Please make sure you list your current home address. Results of an SACWIS search are mailed to the individual requesting at their home address, not to an agency that requires the individual to obtain a search. A request for an SACWIS search must be made in writing and include the following: your full name, including maiden name or other names used if applicable, your date of birth, your Social Security number, your home address. The results of an SACWIS search are mailed to the individual requesting at their home address, not to an agency that requires the individual to obtain a search. Please include your requester's original signature. Requests cannot be faxed or emailed. The request must either be notarized or the request must be accompanied by a copy of the requester's Social Security card and one other form of appropriate identification. Appropriate forms of identification include driver's license, birth certificate, or a United States visa. Requests containing incomplete information are returned with a self-addressed envelope advising the additional information required to initiate an SACWIS search. Submitting your SACWIS request form. The request must be mailed to the following address: SACWIS Search Request, P.O. Box 183204, Columbus, Ohio 43218-3204. The address for express delivery, which is optional, is SACWIS Search Request 4200 East 5th Ave, Columbus, Ohio 43219. Requests must be submitted by U.S. mail or other delivery service. Emails or fax requests are not accepted. Submitting child abuse and neglect registry check results to Childcare Aware of America. Once results from SACWIS are received, they must be forwarded to Childcare Aware of America in order to complete the background check requirement. Results may be mailed, faxed, or emailed to the following address: Childcare Aware of America, Background Check Program, 1515 North Courthouse Road, 2nd floor, Arlington, Virginia, 22201, or you can submit them via fax to 571-255-4911, or via email to bgc@usa.childcareaware.org. Now I'd like to talk about the provider quick guides for all the states included in Phase 2. In order to assist providers with completing their checks, we have developed state-specific guides which can be found on the background check requirement website and can be emailed to you upon request. The guides provide information and resources on each step of the background check process. By following the guide step by step, providers will be able to successfully complete the background check requirement. Please refer to the link below to view your state-specific guide by choosing your state on our website. Following this webinar, all providers will receive an email that includes a quick guide to completing their checks, a blank updated user licensing agreement form, and a blank staff list. If you have already completed the updated ULA form for your facility, you will not have to resubmit it. Included in the email will be a link to Childcare Aware of America's background check website From there, you may navigate to your state's link and find a wide range of resources created to assist you with completing this requirement. The resources include previous webinars, frequently asked questions, how-to documents, and a phasing guideline, among other resources. Now I would like to talk about the FBI check grant process. Once the checks are completed and verification is correctly submitted to Childcare Aware of America, providers may apply for a grant to assist in covering the cost of requiring the FBI check. This reimbursement form will be included with each state's phase packet. Grant amounts vary based on the number of staff employed by the Child Care Center or Family Child Care Home. There are 2 levels of eligibility. The first is Grant A. For child care centers or family child care homes employing between 1 to 25 employees, 100% of costs associated, not to exceed $28 per application with obtaining an FBI check, will be covered for 25 staff members. In the event of staff turnover, up to 10 additional applicants are eligible for 100% of costs associated with obtaining an FBI fingerprint check, again, not to exceed $28 per applicant. The second option is Grant B. Grant B is for facilities that employ 26 or more staff simultaneously. Grant B provides for 50% of costs associated with obtaining the FBI check, not to exceed $18 per applicant. This is up to 40 members of staff. Again, in the event of staff turnover, up to 16 additional applicants are eligible for 50% of all costs associated with obtaining the FBI check. On this slide, you can see the background check program's contact information. You can send us mail to Child Care Aware of America, Background Check Program, 1515 North Courthouse Road, 2nd floor, Arlington, Virginia, 22201. You can give us a call if you have questions at 1-800-424-2246, option 7. You can send us documents via fax to 571-255-4911, or you can always ask us a question or send documents via email to bgc@usa.childcareaware.org. You may also visit the background check website at the link listed below. Thank you very much for joining the webinar. We hope that this webinar has been informative and provided you with a clear idea of how this background check requirement will be implemented. Please look out for your state-specific phase packets, which we will send via email. Unfortunately, we are out of time for today's webinar. If you have any questions, please type them into the chat box and we will send responses to all of the questions asked with the state-specific packets. Again, thank you for attending today's webinar and have a great day.